Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Sunday morning, May 15th, 2016. This is a special morning for me. A year ago this morning, I received some of the worst news that I've ever had to experience. And I remember I was upstairs at the house, and Danville and Tyler, I heard Tyler screaming downstairs, and I didn't understand what was going on. I was angry first. I thought, what in the world are they screaming about? And as I came down, I saw Tyler go out the front door of my house, and a friend of mine, Officer Jerry Cunningham with the Danville Police Department, was standing in my door, and he had told me that Michael had passed away. Now, Michael wasn't my son. Michael was a friend of the family that I had coached him since he was probably 6 or 7 years old for a very long time, and watched him grow up. As Michael got older, he began to have some problems at school. His father, Michael Morris II, had some legal troubles and had not been around too often. And Michael had some problems with his mother, and then left her home, was having problems with his grades, had gone to his father's house, and there were some things going on there that I wasn't very comfortable with. And long story short, Michael came to live with us. Now, Michael had family. He came to live with us, and Michael told me it's because he wanted something better than where he was headed, that he wanted to turn things around, and he thought he could do that with us, and we thought he could do that with us as well. And there's a long story that goes with this. I'm actually wanting to write a book, and so I'll do that through pieces on this YouTube channel as well as some other things. But let's get back to a year ago. With Michael, as I said, I wasn't his father, I was his coach, but a lot of people talk so much about how coaches inspire their players, and I'd like to think that's true. I've coached hundreds of kids over the last 20 years, and it's something I really enjoy doing. I work very hard to teach them things that I think they're going to need on and off the court. But in this case, many people overlook how much a player can inspire their coach. And Michael was just that. Now, Michael wasn't perfect. He had a lot of issues he was trying to work through. But who doesn't? I say all the time that everyone has their issues. Some people are just better at hiding them than others, and some their issues may not make as large an impact on them or the people around them. But Michael had his issues, but he was working on them. When Michael came to us, he had a 1.1 GPA in high school. By the time he finished at Danville, he had brought his GPA up just to 1.7, I think, which doesn't seem significant, but he was in quite a hole that he dug himself out of. Michael then took it upon himself to find a college to go to. He didn't rely on me to find a college for him, partially because Michael knew that I wouldn't, but that I was going to make him do it. But he searched for a college on his own, and he found Ridgewater College in Minnesota, and he went on his own up there. Now, it was a 2-year college, but because Michael's grades weren't stellar and spectacular, he had to take many remedial courses, high school courses, just to get to the college level course he had to take. So Michael stayed in Minnesota for 3 years. This would have been the end of his 3rd year. I'm sorry, last May was the end of his 3rd year. Now, ironically, the day that a year ago today, we found out later in the evening that Michael had been accepted to Northern State University. You can see my shirt. CSU accepted. This is the shirt that his girlfriend got for us after he passed away. And we received an email that evening that Michael had been accepted to a 4-year university, and he had known that for a couple of days. But he didn't tell us over the phone. He was waiting to come home that weekend and tell us that he had been accepted to this university. And he was extremely excited. We were extremely proud of him. Now, the thing that I used to tell Michael all the time and my boys is that the only thing that matters in life is just taking care of your business, to focus beyond the social pressures and influences that you have, just to focus on what you really want. Don't trade for what's right in front of you for what you want the most long term. And Michael was doing that. He was trying to show himself and show us that he was grown and he was a man. Now, on the flip side to that, Michael was never angry with anyone. Michael he didn't like conflict, and he never stayed upset very long. He always laughed. He was the guy that everybody called when they were feeling down. I can't tell you at the funeral how many of his friends from Minnesota were sending us messages or text messages or Facebook messages, or coming. A lot of them came to the funeral, which was a true testament to his character. And almost all of them mentioned that when they were down, that Michael was there to make them laugh and pick them up and give them advice. He had given some solid advice. And some people didn't like Michael for that. Some people very close to him didn't like Michael. They thought he was always playing, or he never took anything seriously. And my question is, why do we have to take everything so seriously? Life isn't. No one gets out of here alive. We're not. It's not that important. What's important is to be happy and make people around you happy and laugh and enjoy yourself. Because whatever problem it is, with a few exceptions, but with most problems, they're going to go away tomorrow or the next day. We get so bogged down and focused on the wrong things. And Michael was always focused on the right things. He loved meeting new people. He loved seeing people. He loved seeing the people he loved. He loved laughing and making other people laugh. And those are important qualities. And Michael, and I lived that way. But when I watched Michael, I realized that I wasn't doing it to my capacity. I wasn't being as free as Mike was. And I said last year at the eulogy, and it just came out, but we should all learn to more be like Mike and be forgiving and let the people we know around us that we love them and be free and happy, because we get one shot, people. We should all be like Mike. So I want to remember Mike today. May 15th, 2016 is 1 year anniversary. I miss you, kid. We all do. We talk about you. We tell funny stories. I'm going to tell some of those stories here on YouTube. And I hope you're watching over us, and we love you, buddy. So take care.